Okay, I'm about to run y'all one. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and play the news, right? But this is what I want y'all to listen for. Listen to how deep the water is, okay? Listen to where this town was located. And I especially want you to listen to what they found, okay? And then we're gonna jump right into it. But let's go and jump into this video.
Ozarks town that was once a tourist destination is now underwater, but not forgotten. The village of Oasis along the banks of Long Creek was mostly destroyed by a flood back in 1957. The lake overtook Oasis 2 years later. We don't know how many people lived there, but the small village had a mill, a post office, a blacksmith, and a general store. It was a destination for tourists who loved the White River. Our Josh Heston spoke with a local author who's an expert on what's beneath the lake.
As more and more vacationers make it out here on Table Rock Lake, we caught up with author Tom Koob to let us know what was buried beneath the waves.
Everything is now under up to 200 feet of water, including one small town.
That town was Oasis, a village at the base of a mountain called Goat Hill, now a technical dive.
You can see remnants of the old mill that toppled over down there, and the old bridge that crossed Long Creek at that point.
But more than bridges and mills were left beneath these waves.
They knew as part of the project that they would have to relocate these cemeteries. There was reported there was a handful of cases where they either didn't move what they were supposed to or only moved partial, which was very upsetting to those families.
And some cemeteries go back much further.
They found, I believe, 17 burial sites, including skeletal remains of a woman who they dubbed the Medicine Woman. And she still had some artifacts with her, including what appeared to be a leather bag with some herbs in it.
Table Rock Lake changed the Ozarks, the economy, the culture. But that change also included some pretty great fishing.
Table Rock is a clean, clear lake. It's a pretty lake. It's very deep, but it has a lot to offer.
From Branson, Missouri.
And of course, you got a great bluegill population, which is great for the kids.
This is Josh Heston, Ozarks First.
That was the Ozarks in Missouri, okay? What they don't tell you is the Ozarks spread out through several other states: Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas. Okay, that was just the only town that's underwater. Okay, now story has it, before that town flooded, to get to that town, you had to go like this spiral wraparound till you got to the bottom of the mountain. And then once you got to the bottom, you went down this road and there go a bridge. Now, I just want you to think, before this town was flooded, it was set at the bottom of the mountainside. So everywhere you looked around, you know, it was like a wall or a mountain, okay? Now, once you got in there, it had a stove, it had a mill, had all kind of businesses that could have sustained an economy. Now, this is where the story gets very interesting at. After that town was flooded, years later, the community started, you know, asking questions about the burial sites and the cemetery. But they sent divers down there. And when they went to a couple of those burial sites, they did find a woman with artifacts. But what they left out was that woman body that they found, her skeleton was 15 feet tall. The more and more that they looked, the more and more that they found these very giant people, okay? And they left it alone. Now, I just want you to ask yourself this. Think about that place before it flooded. It's under 200 foot of water now. Look where the guy standing there that's reporting this. Before that water got there, if you went and looked down, you seen a whole little town down there. And to get down there, you had to go around the road that was wrapped around the mountain to get there, okay? That's the part they don't tell you, was who stayed down there. And like I said, the remains that they did find, those remains were rumored to be 15-foot skeletons, sometimes 20 feet tall. Okay. That's the truth about the Ozarks. And right now it's under 200 foot of water. Ask yourself this. They said that it was, for the dam project or whatever. But just ask yourself logically, how was they able to put a man-made dam and open and divert all that water to that town? If that's the case, like who came up with that decision? Because like I said, if you talk to a lot of elders that's still around who know about the Ozarks, they'll tell you they got up to go to that town one day, and when they got there, it wasn't there no more. Okay? They got to the top of the mountain, and the road that you had to take to get to the bottom, it was gone. The road was completely gone. Now, that's the stories, the real stories about the Ozark that they leave out. And like I said, it be the same story about all these towns. All these towns have the same exact MO. People be going there one day, might go to the post office, because it was a tourist attraction down there way before that lake got put there, Table Rock. Way before Table Rock got there. That was a whole tourist attraction down there at Goat Hill that, a lot of people used to go hang out at. And they get up to go to that town one day and it's underwater. Okay? Like I said, years later, when they sent divers down there to the burial sites, they started finding those giant skeletons. Okay? But anyway, y'all jump in the comments and let me know.